Hi, I'm Greg Hunter, and this is the weekly news wrap-up for Friday, February 10th, 2012. Big news in the mortgage arena. The five biggest banks are coughing up $25 billion to settle the fraudulent mortgage and foreclosure debacle that's been going on. That may sound like a lot of money, $25 billion, but it's been reported that the fraud could equal $13.5 trillion. Let that sink in. They're going to settle this mess for $25 billion with state AGs and federal authorities, and yet the uninvestigated possible fraud is $13.5 trillion. Didn't we give the banks, the big banks, $700 billion in TARP money? Oh, and they're going to give us $25 billion back through loan modifications, on some of these people who had their homes fraudulently foreclosed on. You get a couple of $1,000. They're also going to have some refinancing deals, some debt forgiveness. $25 billion doesn't go very far, does it? It could equal, if other banks sign on to, could equal $45 billion. It's unbelievable. Now, what I saw yesterday, the spin on this deal was, the banks were forced to loan poor people money who couldn't pay it back. Some of that went on, a little bit of that went on. But I don't think the government forced these banks to sell liar loans, to package those liar loans into securities and sell them to investors. And then when all this blew up, that the government didn't tell the banks to start up foreclosure mills and commit forgery so they could fraudulently take back the houses. I just don't think the government told the banks to do that. This is layer upon layer upon layer of fraudulent stuff. And not a single financial elite has been prosecuted, let alone sent to jail. And in the savings and loan debacle, which is 70 times smaller, 1,000 financial elites went to jail. Now, the president says, this is a good deal, and we're going to, get this mess behind us. Oh, really? So opening up the foreclosure floodgates, and that's what's going to happen. You haven't seen anything yet. They're going to open the foreclosure floodgates and take back more houses than ever, so these insolvent banks can wring a little more money out of the economy so they can, stay afloat. So all of a sudden there's going to be even more foreclosures happening. Oh, that's going to help out real estate prices. Oh, that's going to help out the value of those mortgage-backed securities too. That's not going to accelerate any of those defaults. This is far from being over. We already had housing prices declining year over year, according to Case Shiller, despite the fact there are sub 4% 30-year mortgages out there. Housing prices still going down. This is going to make housing prices go down steeper and faster. This is far from over. Next up, there's a deal with Greece, with the European Union, with their sovereign debt crisis. And it looks like that they're going to be getting another $170 billion. It looks like. Now, what's going on over there is that, the bankers want control. They want control of the budgets. They want control of Greece. They want the people over there to have all these austerity deals, to cut pensions, to cut wages, to cut, services to people over there. They want to crush them and get their money back. They don't care about what happens to people over there. Well, the Greek people do. And that's why they are protesting, rioting, striking, and this is an election year in Greece. So even if they do hammer out this deal and wring all this austerity and all these cuts out of Greece, think they're going to hold up during an election year? I don't think so. And I tell you what, Americans should take a good look at this, because I think this may be a prelude to what could be coming over here. Next up, Syria, full-blown revolution, blood, guts, and all. Thousands of people have been killed. Now it's been reported that Western governments are helping out the Syrian rebels, and now the United States is looking into military options in Syria. Boy, as if we don't have enough trouble with Iran, the Strait of Hormuz, and shutting that down, and Iran threatening Israel, and Israel threatening Iran, and now we're going to take on Syria. Oh, and by the way, we still have thousands of contractors in Iraq, even though our troops are out of there. We're paying contractors over there. We still have hostilities, major hostilities going on over in Afghanistan. Oh, and Pakistan is mad as heck about our drone attacks, and Pakistan is going to side with Iran. Did you hear about that? That's a mess. Watch that story. If there is war in the Middle East, we're going to have a financial collapse faster than you could say Israel, Iran, Syria. It's going to go. I mean, do you think all these trillions of derivative contracts are going to be settled? How long do you think the consumer holds up if they're paying $7 or $8 a gallon for gas? Finally, Rick Santorum had a big week. Hey, the guy won, came out of nowhere. He has breathed life into his campaign. He won some big states in the West and in the Midwest. Good for him. Ron Paul also had a reasonable, respectable showing, came in second, at least one of those caucuses. He's still collecting delegates. Mitt Romney, bad week. Newt Gingrich, not such a good week for them either. Not a good week at all. But, you know what? This is a long primary season for the Republicans, and boy, they're going to be battling out all the way to the convention floor. You watch. This one ain't going to be over until it's over. That's the way I see it. I'm Greg Hunter. Thank you for supporting USAWatchdog.com.